them a mandate to do what they do. Now, if you look in the dictionary of Canadian law, the definition of economy, most people would not know what it is, okay? Economy means acquiring anything at the lowest price at the most appropriate time in order to maximize the profits. So when our politicians like Harper and all the premiers come up and say that they are first and foremost upholding the economy, it means when they say it's bad for the economy that we do anything right now, it means that they're trying to maximize the profit by holding us out and beating us down more. And that's what the economy means, okay? It feeds against the people. The reality is Section 15 of our Charter of Rights and Freedoms. This was passed in 1993, and there's another court precedent in 1993 that affects Section 15 of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. And that's equality before and under the law. In a court ruling at the same time as NAFTA, we have another court ruling that says that a corporation is not our equals. Okay? They are not our equals before and under the law. And you know what? 20 years later, it's self-evident that they are our superiors. Corporations have more rights than any human being because they are what's now called in law private persons. Okay? And the rights of 1,000 shareholders are greater than the one human being that's attacking that thing. And it's perverting the law through words. It's called lexicography. The oath to the bar is supposed to protect us from what's called perversion of the law, and it's done through words. Hitler did it with 45 words. And in Canada, we did it with the perversion of about 20 words. That makes our perversion so much better than Hitler. All our laws, rules, and regulations have changed because of a few key words. And one of the major ones is the color of office. The color of office is by the people, for the economy, under duress of a bad contract. Every time a politician makes a decision, it's for that motive first. And in 1985, we lost a court case called Big M Drug Mart, where a corporation was given the right to pursue happiness. Okay? Now, there's a big difference between having a right to happiness and pursuing happiness, okay? Pursuing happiness for a corporation means making more money every year more than the year after that. Okay, and after 20 years of a ruling like that, the only place left where money can be made is by suppressing the people. And that's exactly what what they're doing is creating a form that's imploding on itself, and it's got to stop. You know, it's called the change of everything, and it's big. And that's exactly what gatherings like this throughout the world will do. It will change everything. And don't underestimate the power of a small group of people, because it's actually the only thing that's ever worked.
About the D2D that I'm in. If you guys want a D2D, Kevin's got copies of the D2D that I'm in, and he'll give it to you for free. But listen, come up after here when I'm done, and just shake my hand. Like this young brother, I thank him for standing up with me all the way, because he understands where I'm coming from. And I'm still going to do that walk to Ottawa.
My name is Kevin Annett. My Mohawk name is Rowan Sani. I just came back from Brantford, Ontario, where the Mohawk people have decided to open the graves of the first residential school in Canada, set up by the Anglican Church. About half the children in there never came back, like every other residential school. I want you to look at that building across the street, the Hotel Georgia. 1999, we had eyewitness women describing how the Vancouver police, some of them, not all of you guys, but some of them, were taking women in there and raping them and filming them in the basement of the Hotel Georgia. It's called the hooker game. They do that with Aboriginal women, and that's one of the reasons women disappear all the time. We were surfacing these stories on Co-op Radio, and we got shut down for doing it last year. Now, this is, you know, it's one thing to name an enemy when they're far away. When it's happening in your own city, then it becomes dangerous. But the danger is mitigated the more of us who come together. 40 years ago, I came to my first demonstration right here. It was the Amchitka protest. The American military were setting off nuclear weapons and bombs up in Amchitka in Alaska. 20,000 high school students emptied and came here and blocked the streets. And in the years since then, the only change that I've ever seen happen is when numbers come together. Not by petitioning your member of parliament. I'll tell you something about the member of parliament. Look up on Google what the oath of allegiance is when you're elected to the Parliament of Canada. It says, I swear to bear true allegiance to Queen Elizabeth and her descendants, period. The members of parliament do not swear allegiance to the people of Canada or to the Constitution. They swear allegiance to a foreign monarch. As to the police, as to the courts, we elect people who are then not accountable to us. The churches and the governments that slaughtered 50,000 children, we got to bring them back to reality and say, you don't have a right to exist if you're going to continue to slaughter children. Thank you.
Brothers and sisters, let me see you guys raise your hand like this. Because, brothers and sisters, we're going to fight all the way against the residential school and against the government. We're fighting against the Pope for that. Thanks.
Just on the Pope, I got to tell you something. At the end of October 31st, we're gathering in Rome. We've got 3,000 people or more. They're going to surround the Vatican. Nobody in, nobody out. We're going to shut down the Vatican because Pope Ratzinger himself is criminally complicit in signing orders, ordering bishops and priests to cover up the abuse of children. There's a law called Crimen Solicitatis. It orders every bishop and priest in the world under pain of excommunication to suppress evidence when children are abused by priests. That's a law that every priest has to follow around the world. That's a criminal conspiracy to hide the torture of children. So what we're saying is the criminal body called the Roman Catholic Church doesn't have the right to operate if they're going to do that to our children. So what I need you all to do is to get on board with that, to realize that threat against children isn't 50 years ago, it's today. ITCCS, the International Tribunal into Crimes of Church and State, itccs.org. Look it up. Join us. Thank you.
Now we'll get the mic back to your MC.
But if you are taking an interview,
That
you are only speaking for yourself.
that you're only speaking for yourself.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mic check!
Mic check.
Mic check!
Mic check.
It was brought to my attention
It's brought to my attention
that Tom Morello's here.
that Tom Rose here.
Where is he?
Mic check.
Mic check.
Sorry. He will be here.
He will be here.